All right, so let's make a formal introduction for our listeners. Good afternoon, Miguel. My name is Claudio, and I'm calling you from Washington, D.C., from the studios in Fairfax City. We're very humble and grateful that Miguel Montalban accepted our invitation to our show. Hey, Miguel, man, welcome to the show. Hola.
Hey, hola, hola. Thank you very much for having me.
No
Uh,
problem, man. Man, so let's go back to what the crazy time when we live, not just the war in Ukraine, but the COVID from the last 2 year, if you're a touring musician like yourself, you cannot tour a mag. Many of the gigs were canceled. It's hard to, what have been difficult the last 2 years to have a normal life. So have the COVID affected your creativity, your sanity? How you holding up, man?
oh, well, it was tough. It's still tough because we're in the middle of that process, like, slowly, gradually, coming back to normal. But UK has been like quite different from the rest of Europe, which is great, like in terms of, a lot more freedom, no using, mask or restrictions like that. So we were like kind of more normal, pushing to the business to reopen, quite quickly last year in July. And as soon as they open up, we get back to the business, let's say, getting busy, gigs, festivals. Fortunately, I'm working with my manager, Pete Barton, and he's helped me out, to find some great opportunities. But during the process in COVID, yeah, I was like, you're stuck, kind of rethinking about what to do, what the hell I'm doing. Obviously, before that, in 2019, I was like, mostly busking and performing in the streets, doing festivals and gigs like that. But yeah, it was like I was like in 2019 was quite busy for me, and I was performing with my band, recording, writing music and stuff, and then suddenly, yeah, the COVID, yeah, affected us quite hard.
No, yeah, I know what you mean, man. For me, for my point of view, was great because during the time I opened the radio and I opened another one, I began doing interviews and I do this for fun. I have a real job during the day. I'm an engineer, so I cannot complain. I'm doing well, man. So and I'm very happy to talk to musicians. So it has been the best thing that happened to me was the COVID because I was able to put all this stuff together and begin calling, interviewing people. So and very fortunate, man. To be where I am, man. So let's go back to the beginning. How were you born, like in a musical family, and how old were you when you began, perhaps taking piano lesson or guitar lesson? How you? I
Oh, I just started by my own. I told you a little bit before, this interview, but I mean, my big brother, he started playing guitar before me, so I think I started like kind of copying him, and I was involved. My family, I mean, there's a lot of music in my family. So my grandfather, he brought me the first electric guitar, my first Les Paul when I was 9. I started playing at 8, classic guitar, and I was a little bit piano because he brought me as well when I was 7. Actually, the first piano, I wasn't like really into the piano that much because I wanted, to play some rock, and I wanted to play guitar. I remember. But yeah, a lot of music in my family. I think that's it. A lot of influences from them, from my uncles. Yeah.
so when you were like in high school, what kind of music were you listening at the time? Were European band, American band, music from Chile? What were you listening?
Yeah, mainly Americans. Yeah, mainly Americans. Back in Chile, so there's a lot of American music, but also British. I mean, like rock music mainly is singing in English, so it's like that's the main thing. I never been like really into Spanish music, to be honest. Like I don't know, it's just something like natural to me, like listening to rock music in English. And but yeah, when you're a kid, when you're I don't know 10, 15, like you listen. I passed through a lot, many different type of music. Um, I listen to funk, hip hop a little bit. You try to be cool with other kids as well. I listen to alternative music. I was really into Nirvana, that sort of, grunge music as well. And it's kind of a mixture, but I just always loved just playing a guitar when I was alone at home, like, and developing like really. I was really quick and obsessed with the guitar and developing really good technique just playing it. Even though then after playing, maybe I was listening to some chill music, some funky, and again some different music from what I was playing. So it was like, in between of everything. I think, I always been an open person, in terms of not really. I never like to be someone like, okay, I just do exclusively this. Like I'm like heavy metal, I just do that. No, I'm just if I'm going to do that, I just get bored quite quickly.
I got you, I got you. And then so at one point you decided, well, if I could stay in Chile, do my musical career, or perhaps go somewhere else and take a gamble and risk, and then you end up leaving Chile, and then you end up before the UK, you end up living in Italy. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, I lived in Italy.
Yeah. Tell me about the years that you lived there, and what did you do, and how you make a living, and how
Uh,
difficult it was.
well, it was tough. Yeah, I was a kid. I just moved up there maybe to find, maybe myself, I don't know what I'm gonna do in life. I wanted to study anyway. Meeting a lot of interesting people, traveling around. I was just got stuck a little bit in Rome, and then I met the director of the Conservatory of Music, and I was playing. I remember in the streets.
Really?
Uh, yeah, it was a coincidence, and it was like this guy was like amazed, and then he said, "Oh, you're just fucking incredible. What were you doing here?" And I was like, "Just making a living." And he said, "No, you should go. You should come. You should enter to the Conservatory of Music, man. This is just the best in Rome. Like, you know what? Let's meet up on Monday." And he gave me, and he bought my records. I was selling two records, different records that I'm not having them yet now. But anyway, like, so we met up on Monday, and he said, "Okay, let's go to a director," and then they put me inside. Like I just did, a test, audition for
Yeah.
then the standard audition, and then I did a private one for some few teachers, and they were amazed, and it was like, okay, you're just great, just get in. So
Good
I
for
did.
you, man.
Yeah, yeah, it was really amazing. Really, it was a great opportunity, and I took it, and I used it, and I just did, my very best until the things got busy in my business, let's say, in my music. Yeah.
And then how you make it? Were you playing on the street at the time? I have seen a video. You think Queen, and then playing some Pink Floyd stuff. There was, yeah, I think it was in Rome. Yeah,
I
right.
was check. Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm a huge fan of Pink Floyd. David Gilmour is my favorite. One of my favorite. But yeah, I mean, like, was difficult in terms like, I was studying in the morning, and then as soon as I got free, then I got to a square to busk. So sometimes I was like carrying with my trolley, the amp and the guitar, and going to the study, and then it was like tired. But then, probably the kids then later, going out to do something else. But I was just coming back to the square to play, to make some money to living, and it was all right. I mean, like, I was like doing BC life, so it was like fun, and having a rock band in night. So in the morning I was playing jazz, and in the afternoon I was playing Pink Floyd's, and then I was playing rock.
Good for you. And then were you making enough money to survive, and pay your bills and eat every day and kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, at the very beginning, of course, I was like receiving some help from my parents, but it's very expensive, and yeah, it's just struggle. But I'm very proud of myself.
Good for you,
uh,
man.
like I made it, because it was tough. Yeah. I got some really, really, really beautiful moments. Uh, I remember, because you got every gig is different every day. Basically, you got so many people, thousands of people, every day, tourists mainly, in the square that I used to play, which is the Pantheon in the middle, the heart of Rome, which
Yeah.
is very, very impressive. And there's dozens of people, and every time I was playing, I was getting a crowd of 50 or maybe 80, like lots of
Wow.
people. found it. Yeah, in the square playing, Pink Floyd's, or Dire Straits and things like that. Classics, rock.
And then eventually, right, you were playing every night, you were doing all right, and imagine that one, I don't know, record label saw you, a club owner, and say, "What are you doing on the
Yeah,
street? You can go and play in my club or go and play here, or how
yeah.
much you charge?" And oh no,
I
it was like
started
that.
like getting at the very beginning. I started like people were asking, "Where's your record out? You do you have any record I would like to hear?" I don't have nothing. I just very beginning. I remember that it was like actually impressed that people asking me for my music. I mean, I'm like, really? Should I? Like, I didn't know like I was that good, to be honest. And it's like, and then people like really started asking every day, and it's okay. I'm in a rush. I need to record something, like anything. So let's put a record in the yeah. But yeah, I met a lot of people in the streets, a lot of interesting people, record labels, yes, collaborations and things like that. I never got like really signed by anybody because it was like avoiding, and like depending of that. And that's just what I was just waiting for a decent, for to be honest, and so I was just managing on my own, and I was like, you know what, I'm doing all right, and uh, and so I just did my own stuff, and a part of that, I've never been like really into. I mean, with the music I'm doing now, not really doing music for the radio, to be honest. Just uh, worried about playing some quality music rather than making or thinking in something commercial. Maybe for that reason, like it's never been my aim to get involved in a record label, but obviously open to opportunities and recordings that I've done. Yes.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like it's cool. I mean, busking does give me so much, so much. I mean, like I really only can say is like thank you to everyone, like the whole world, because there were people from everywhere, from Chile, from Argentina, Brazil, Peru. I mean, America, whole America, North America, Australia. I got people like everywhere, and they texting me every day. And then what it gave me not just only the day of the gig, the change they gave me, the change, but is also I was lucky to be part of this kind of generation of guitars in YouTube that the people build up that I wasn't really. So they made that, for example, that performance of Sultans of Swing, they made it, popular on internet, and that gave me so much exposure all over the world, and so many opportunities, just like just like that, and then I started playing in festivals and
Uh,
traveling
you're
around Europe.
you're very humble, Miguel, man, because you are very good at what you do, man. So in 2015, I was reading that you end up releasing two albums. I think it's called Inspiration Volume One and Volume
Yeah,
Two,
yeah,
and you end up selling over, I don't know, over 20,000 copies, right?
yeah. Well,
That's
that
that's
was
very
the first
impressive,
seller.
man. That's pretty good, man.
It's incredible how many records you can sell when you're busking, to be honest. And yeah, it's incredible. I was like really just doing that, so it was like every day, I was just doing quite well. And and after that, yeah, I started just writing my own music as well, and pushing. Yeah.
You know, and then so at what point you end up deciding, well, I wanna, I could have stayed in Italy, continue playing there with the band, and become more professional when I do, or go to London, or how you end up moving to the UK? How did it go with that? How?
Yeah, the thing is like I was playing, I was composing some music in more or less in 2013. I started my own band called Andy Empire, and it was a sort of more commercial, like more into British rock, indie rock, or something more alternative, like Jack White and stuff like that. Oh, sorry. So
Okay.
mix some different kind of music with, not much shredding or guitar solos on that. But the thing is, like, we won a very important contest organized by Red Bull, and so they pick us up and they bring us to London. They pay for the studio in London Bridge, They put us with a producer, so I wrote a song called Girl. We won with a song of mine called Honesty.
Yeah.
It was on the radio in Italy, like different local radio independents and some FM as well. I made a lot of interviews because of that, and then we toured the north. We toured the whole Sardinia as well, playing in front of 10,000 people. We were touring with this tour bus. It was amazing because it was like the whole, and on the sides of the bus was the big name of my band, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm like really living the dream. And so yeah, they made like really really cool stuff. And so when we came up here in London to record this, they organized 3 4 gigs in the town, and the response of the people was just amazing, man. Like really, it was like really the first proper experience touring or um, kind of professional thing, and the first time in London. So because of that, it's like it was like always stuck in my mind. Okay, this city is just amazing. And I was
Wait,
meeting other interesting people, and because we were singing in English, obviously, like and Red Bull decides to put us here in England because our music is much, more or less what was happening here. Obviously, in Italy, you can expect people singing in Italian. So
of course.
so that was the reason why I couldn't like really when we come back to really get a really a good opportunity, maybe with a record label. It was Sony interested in that moment, but I was like, no, man, I'm not going to sing or change, the songs because basically major is it means commercial, and just wanted to go to do what I was doing because I thought I was right. And I make the decision then later, okay, you know what? I'm done here because if I got this kind of level opportunity, I don't think it's gonna happen again. So I'm just gonna move up, pack up my stuff, and go to London. And I said that to my bandmates, and they were like, "Okay, I don't know. It's difficult, Miguel. I don't know if we can make it. Maybe you travel fast and then let us know. All right, you know what? I'm going to do this alone." And this is how it started. It's like very tough at the beginning because they were right. It was tough and expensive.
Oh, London is very expensive, man.
It was very expensive. When I get here, it was raining, and I was like with 2 bags and like my guitar on my shoulders, and I was like, "What the fuck I'm going to do here?" And I was looking around the corner, and I think I can play here, maybe tomorrow, And
When was that? What year was that?
that was no, ending 2014, I believe. Yeah, 14.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Almost 8 years ago. Yeah. Wow.
yeah, almost 8 years ago. Yeah. Mm.
So the first month, the second month, how difficult were you basking? You were playing on the street and you get into an apartment, or yeah, we were crashing somewhere. Or,
I say we because fortunately we moved up with my girlfriend, so we were like in two together. Like it wasn't like really alone. So that
yeah.
was the good side, making all this as a team. We still live together. But the thing is, at the very beginning, what was the question?
No, I say how difficult was the first 2 months at the beginning. You arrive in London, it
Well,
was
it
raining,
was tough.
you don't have a place to stay, and where you wanna,
Tough
how you wanna make a
because
living.
yeah. Well, of course, I got like I saw my stuff, all my gear back in Italy because you can travel with all your stuff. And so the first week it just took me, a little bit, to find on Amazon, to get back to my stuff, buying a guitar and all that. Oh, I have my guitar, but speakers and all that. And then I bought the same stuff, and then okay, the next day, of course, I went to central London and walking around. Uh, to see where I can play, asking around and seeing, okay, maybe here, oh, maybe, yeah, this looks like, the right corner. And then the next day, okay, I need to work, so I need to play somewhere. And then I went, and the first time I played, it was like, it wasn't really good, the response. Actually, no one really cared. And I was like, what? Like, and I was kind of scared the first week and the first 2 weeks, to be honest. And I started like changing my setup, trying different pedals, trying different even guitars. I tried different amps, different sounds because I knew that something was missing. I was like kind of losing the tone or the thing I was doing. Believe it or not, affects quite a lot. because of the
Sure.
different environment. There was it was a lot bigger, a lot noisier. Central London is busy, a lot of people. You need more power, you need better amps, better everything. So it's like, and I started changing also my set list and the songs and my playing, and I was doing more show, more performance, focusing. And then I started building up, and I ended up doing quite well. So yeah,
Yeah, I
fortunately.
have seen you different video of you some years ago. I think you were playing outside Piccadilly Circus. I think it was that
Yeah.
tube station, and that's a perfect spot to play there. Man.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's like literally in the heart of central London,
Yeah,
and
people were buying your CD, putting money.
a lot, a lot. Like, it's amazing. Like, I remember, like, it was crazy. Sometimes it was like literally crazy. Like, people like want more, 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 and more, and it's like they love rock. Like, people here, they really appreciate. I mean, also back in Italy, they appreciate quite a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, but the craziness has started here. Yeah, like a lot more. And I
Do
was
you?
doing a lot more. I was doing a lot more. Like, even my performance, even my look. Well, I was bigger, obviously. I grew up kind of, in the making.
How
Um,
many hours were you playing on a daily basis? Like 3, 4 hours, 5 hours?
uh, I was doing at the beginning just 2 sets, 2 hours, and I ended up doing only 3 hours in a row.
Yeah.
Only one spot. Yeah. Uh, because I was doing other stuff as well. Like, I was like, writing some music. You need time, um, and setting up everything. Like, I wanted to visit also the city, and knowing and meeting people, and try to spread my things. But if you're doing it every day, you get tired at the end. It's quite easy to get tired or get stuck. And so I was trying at the very beginning quite hard, even studying, how to produce the stuff, because it was like really in playing, yeah, earning, but it was like knowing that I don't have really that much money to produce my stuff. I just kind of pay or kind of afford a proper producer and stuff like that. I just kind of do it. So I just got to learn how to do it and do it on my own.
Sure, sure.
And so that's what I did.
And then what was the next step after that? When you were playing every day, you were making enough money, you moved into an apartment, and then so you were going home and say, man, if I play every day, I will not have time to do my own music and so forth. So I'm quite sure that a lot of record label and club owners and other musicians saw you on the street, even
Yeah.
real,
Yeah.
the real people that you were playing the song for, and
Oh yeah, man. I've seen like even actors from Harry Potter give me some pounds, Like,
really, wow.
I met Zack Wilde as well, Zack Wilde, guitarist of Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, I was shaking hands, like, fuck. I met a lot of, not just those are the famous, but I met producers. I met a lot of people, some other musicians that I collaborate with, some of the people that were interested in having, for example, private lessons, guitar lessons, and it was like getting different jobs. I was like, okay, that's fucking great, because I really don't want to be stuck in this all my life. Like, I just really wanted to do something else, but it's just fucking expensive. So
Well,
I had
renting an apartment and eating and
luckily
yeah,
there were I it just crossed, a lot of people that also helped me out, the musicians, and yeah, people involved in the industry that helped me, to find some other opportunities, and people that believe in me also, not only in basking, but through basking on YouTube. And on YouTube, the people just contact me. Hey, how much? What's your fee for gig here? What's your fee for festival? What's your fee for maybe this, that, and then
sure,
when I
sure.
travel, I play in Morocco. I play for the international Mondiale dell'Automobile in France. I don't know, Germany, Austria, a lot of people. Then some brands started contacting me. I got my endorsement of Olympus in Australia. Got
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
gigs as well. Signed to some brands that started helping me out, to
Sure.
continue to journey because maybe I'm doing well.
Yeah, no, I know. We'll talk about the sponsor. I think I was reading an article somewhere that you've been called one of the greatest young guitarists around. Man,
Yeah,
amazing. Somebody in the UK magazine in the UK wrote that. Man,
yeah.
man, you're living the dream, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing. I'm working. I'm a hard worker. I never. I'm not. I'm just in the beginning. And I know that. And I've done a lot, but I know that I have to do quite a lot more.
You can do a lot more. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And so I'm writing now. For example, this year I'm going to launch.
yeah.
There's a lot of singles coming up. I've got my band Ranting. Will be in this year headlining the Giants of Rock, the Great Blues and Rock Festival in Skegness and Minehead. I'm going to play this weekend in Nantwich, which is the best festival in Nantwich. Partners Week. I got the tour coming up this week, so I'm very excited. Very excited. I'm still pushing and selling my promotion, my record on the Southern Vultures,
Yeah.
and yeah, excited.
Yeah, and I think with Southern Vulture, I think you're doing. I was reading your website. You're doing 1, 2, 3, 6 gigs starting in Canterbury. Then you go to that week.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
yesterday I played there. That was
April the
amazing.
8th you start, right? Oh, okay, that was yesterday, the first gig, right?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's why I got this voice.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. Yesterday I played in this small theater, and yeah, it was nice, man. It was really cool.
How
Just
many people?